Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast. It's on TV, and you can watch it. They got 17 seasons, that's a lot, kid. But you can skip those. We do recaps about the whole show. Not the food, though, but the other stuff. Yeah. You're now listening to Pod Chef, the only official podcast about the TV show Top Chef, with your hosts, Jamal, Brian, and Reeves. And I only said their first names because I don't know everyone's last name, and I'm trying to be polite. Now enjoy the show.
Don't stop me now. Don't stop me now. We're having a good time. Oh, hey, welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I get lost sometimes in our pre-show banter. You know, Brian was doing that musical stuff, and I got lost in it a little bit.
Yeah, wondering why you didn't make that one about Pod Chef, because the last time you got to singing, you made Pod Chef the words.
Maybe you could do it. Don't Pod Chef me now.
Don't Pod Chef me now. Leave a good review.
There you go. Yeah.
If you have a negative thing to say about the podcast, send it to Tom's Twitter feed.
And that's the podcast now.
That's the podcast now. Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I'm your host, Jamal. With me this week, he's back from his Easter religious holiday. Reeves is here.
I'm back, baby. I did all of my Easter duties. I delivered all the eggs, except for the ones I smashed.
Mm-hmm.
But I delivered
what
most
did
of them.
those What did those kids get with the eggs that you smashed?
An apology, really. Like, it was just, when you have so many eggs, when you have to deliver so many eggs, you got to like put stuff on top of the car because you're trying to like situate things. And then you forget that you put most of the eggs in your seat.
Yeah.
Sit down, crunch. There goes 10,000 eggs. Yeah.
And the eggs you forgot on the top of the car.
Yeah, well, those two. Yeah, they're in the rearview mirror, man. Splattered all over the highway, brother.
But you gave an apology to them.
Mm-hmm.
To a lot of kids, it sounds like.
Yeah.
To be honest, most of the kids.
I don't know how many
didn't
kids
get
there are,
eggs.
but it sounds like a lot of them.
I only saved, at most, 12, like a dozen eggs.
Wait, but didn't you make like a 12 dozen egg omelet the day after Easter also?
Well, and that's part of the problem. It's like I had just gotten that from Whole Foods. And so like I had securely put that in my trunk. Then I got home after doing like just so many apologies. And I was like, oh, wait, I did have some eggs.
Yeah.
And, just made my omelet after that.
If I was one of those kids and you were supposed to deliver me an egg and it got crunched and then you came and apologized, I would think that's excellent.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly what you wanted.
I would be pretty ecstatic.
Mm-hmm.
Brian,
do you have one that you want?
Brian, don't think of anything. Lego my ego.
No, I wasn't thinking of anything. I was trying to do an anti-joke, and that didn't work either. So now I'm going to explain it, which is also kind of a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if people are out there like, hey, 2 weeks in a row, no guests, we tried.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're out there saying like, well, I listen to the show now because,
It's the live season.
live
Usually
season.
they have guests for the live season.
What happened?
We tried.
Well, it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Not naming names, but
And I know you're thinking, yeah, right. No, it was actually a pretty good guess too. So
it was
Yeah.
a very good get. The other ones up to this point honestly have been shit, and this one was
Real
really
bad.
this is a good
Yeah.
get. Yeah.
This would have
Yeah.
been the white whale,
Mhm.
or not even white.
And if people are remembering last week, I said something. I promised a guest
Mm-hmm.
if something were to happen, and that guest isn't here. So
But they did become friends.
yes,
Mhm.
not that we aren't friends.
You did go to the restaurant, right?
No,
Oh God.
Well,
Maybe
And
that's why.
I'm
Now we
starting to
know why.
understand. Yeah, I'm starting to understand why they're not here.
Maybe they've seen that I have changed my reservation 4 times. After they called me
boy.
one time to confirm, and I said, "Yeah, I'll be there," and then I changed it
Oh,
4
boy.
times after that. Look,
Oh,
it's hard to do anything these days. All right. Plus, the restaurant's like an hour away, and
Yeah.
I think
And
after the fourth one, you start popping up on some do not call
Yeah.
list or something like
Yeah.
that.
It's
that
a
gets
do not
circulated.
feed list.
Yeah.
oh no, do not feed list.
Yeah. Cannot be fed. Do not show up on podcast list.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's the do not fly list, which is number 1. The do not feed list.
Which is number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one is the do not fuck list. You don't want to be on that list.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to get off that list. Trust me.
It's almost impossible to get off that list.
Almost. You got to know the right people.
But folks, we try again. This is we're saying it in a funny way.
Mm-hmm. It's very
We
funny.
tried very hard to get a guest on here.
Mm-hmm.
We did everything that we could do, and it seemed like it was going to work.
And honestly, like, what are you doing, listeners?
Yeah. You
Yeah,
helping us
who's
get
the
guests?
guests you're getting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just real quick. Who did you have when you were listening to the podcast? Did you get a guest? No? Okay, well then we're in the same boat, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
How many of you are reaching out to us and saying, "Hey, I got you a guest," and I'm not
Mhm.
talking about the people that keep asking to be on the podcast.
The answer's still no, by the way.
Well, yeah, and I'm talking specifically about the leader of the Foot Clan, which I really we can't have him on.
Yeah.
It would be a disaster. Stop messaging us about that.
His
Please.
camera's just pointed at his lady's feet the entire time. Anyway, we can't have that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. And you say, "Oh, your wife's feet are lovely," and he goes, "This is not my wife."
Mhm.
I would not be married. I'm a foot guy.
You got to keep keep your options open. Folks, we had a big guest, and now we don't have a big guest. So we don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah.
If that's not apparent, if it's not apparent that we have nothing to talk about because we kind of did a lot of show prep for a very specific reason.
We have questions.
We had a lot of questions.
Yeah.
We wrote actual serious questions. We were going to be serious.
I got what I think are very like hot ones, tangential,
Mm-hmm.
like level questions that I had ready to ask, and now I don't get to ask them.
You can
Yeah.
ask them to us.
Yeah. Do you want to ask us? Maybe.
I don't know if it works the same way that way.
Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
Just put our names in where the guest name is.
Okay. Let's see here.
Read the first one.
Okay. Brian, in October 2018, you got to give the commencement speech at the Culinary Institute of America, the other CIA. What is something you know now that you wish young Brian in 1998 knew about the cooking industry?
Well, oh gosh.
That's a good question. I don't
That's
care what you
good.
say.
Yeah, that is a good question. Unfortunately, it doesn't really relate to me because I did the central. Got to give the commencement speech at the Central Intelligence Agency, the other CIA.
The
Whereas
other
the guest
CIA.
that we had was the Culinary Institute of America. I commencement speech at Central Intelligence Agency, and what I know now that I wish young me knew in 1998 was that The Rock and Kevin Hart would do a movie about Central Intelligence Agency where The Rock was fat CGI'd in the beginning and did a song, and it was fat shaming. And isn't he a nice guy?
You want to know something about that movie? I
It's
on
bad?
Well, other than that, that's part of it. I was on a plane with my mom. I forgot we were coming back from a vacation years ago, and my mom is over there like giggling and like snorting and chortling and like just cracking her shit up, right? And I'm like, what is she watching? And I look over. She's watching Central Intelligence Agency.
What is it actually? It's not called that. It's called something else.
And I thought it was Central Intelligence.
There's like a joke to it.
That they're both dumb.
Yeah, it's some kind of thing like that. Okay, I'll do the next question and I'll ask Reeves.
Well, I really quickly want to say it is one of my favorite things to look at what people are watching.
Okay, and now I
enjoying.
got an email from our guest agent assistant saying, "Sorry, I'm just seeing this. Did he call in?" Oopsies.
Okay, well,
And so now
Well,
I
okay,
reply,
okay. You can't do Zencaster on your phone. Give him your phone number. Give her your phone number.
yeah,
This is
give her
live,
your phone
folks.
number.
This is
Give,
live.
give her my phone number.
Give-
I don't feel comfortable giving women my phone number.
Give her mine. Give her mine.
yeah, give
I
her
don't give
mine.
comfort. I don't feel comfortable giving out a man's number to a woman.
Give her my wife's number.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel comfortable giving out Carrie's number.
We could get the guest. This could happen. You're acting
Well,
like a
no,
possum, which means you're going to eat trash and get hit by a car.
No, she's saying she just saw this, wondering if he called in.
No, say he didn't connect with us. Say, does he need a cell phone number to call? And then we could do it over speakerphone, and it'll sound really bad.
Yeah,
It is a man. It is a man. Secret's out. We got a man guest. That's
Yeah,
what we do.
And you know what? Maybe while this is going on, I'll ask another question.
Yeah, please.
Brian, I really like your show on Bravo TV, Top Recipe. Do you figure out the recipe for the dishes on your own, or do you like text the chef and ask them?
Again, I
All right,
don't.
we'll see what happens.
I don't
gave
have
him
a
Carrie's
show
number.
called Bravo Top Recipe.
Carrie might get a phone call.
Okay, well, she's
From
not
the
even
guest.
here, so hopefully you give her number for real.
I gave her work number.
Carrie's work number?
Mm-hmm.
She's not at work.
Where's she at?
She's at dinner with friends.
Oh, well, that's
She gave me my space tonight. I said, Carrie. I said, Carrie,
I got a guest.
I got a guest. I'm gonna need the house. I'm gonna
You
need
gotta-
the house.
I don't know where you're going, but you can't stay here. I
You
need the
can't stay
whole
here.
house.
I need the
cleaned
whole house.
The whole house.
This has got to be a whole Zen thing.
And she
take me-
listened.
That's nice.
She rarely listens. This is the one time she listened.
Well, it's a big deal. The guest is
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah. So I don't host that show Bravo TV Top Recipe, but it sounds like a show that I would watch. And the question was, do I figure out the recipes for the dishes on my own, or do I text the chef and ask? I think I would text the chef and ask, I think.
Okay. That makes sense.
You know, when you write a question for a very specific person, it's not very interchangeable.
That's true.
You know, it's not like shoes. Like if we wear the same shoe size, you can wear any shoes, the same shoe size.
Swap
But-
them out.
Yeah, swap them out.
Brotherhood of the Traveling Shoes.
They even smell good.
When you mix
But-
all the feet together.
Oh,
And now we're just like baiting,
back on him.
baiting the
We're
Foot
back
Clan.
on him. He's loving this talk now. If this even makes it in the final record. All right, this is a segment we call Chefs I Prepared for You. We do it every week. This is where we talk about what we had for dinner last night and only last night, and present it to you as if we're presenting to the judges on Top Chef. I'll go first. Chefs I present to you.
Chef, I do what?
Chefs I present to you.
That's not the words.
What is it?
Chef, I prepared for you.
Man, my brain's gone.
Wow.
I'm so messed up because this guest didn't show up. I
Yeah.
can't even think straight.
I mean, and to the listeners that are joining us back, I mean, we've really gone through a roller coaster of emotions in the past hour. You know, it's like a team, and all of a sudden their star player is sick or something, and then it's like they're not going to be able to play on the bench, and then they come in, and then they jump, and they have a weird fall, and then they're out, and it's like, I don't know, is the star going to play, or are we just going to have to pass the ball around and not shoot it because no one knows how to shoot it?
Yeah, you're like, what are we going to do? We're just going to have to do Chefs I prepared for you
Mm-hmm.
and not do anything else.
Yes.
Because basketball.
So, chefs, I made
What? Do it right. We have one segment.
chefs I prepared for you. Pineapple and bacon chicken sausage with scrambled eggs and sauteed spinach. I had Brenner.
That sounds nice. So wait, run it by me again.
Pineapple.
Pineapple and bacon chicken sausage
Oh.
with scrambled egg and sauteed spinach.
Pineapple.
You're thinking about it too much. Like, this is not like I diced up pineapple. This is like, it's
No,
all
it came
combined.
Yeah. No, I get that. But still, pineapple.
It's got a nice little sweetness to it,
Mhm.
but not overwhelming. And it's got like a nice meatiness to it with the, chicken sausage and the bacon.
Did you mix it all together as like a scramble, or are you making an
Oh,
omelet out of that bad
I made
boy?
a scramble.
Yeah.
Not only did I scramble it together, I'm doing this new thing because I did some reading that apparently if you're doing scrambled eggs, and maybe I talked about this before, you don't whisk the eggs before you scramble. You scramble them in the pot because if you whisk the eggs, you lose the nutrients that are in the egg whites. Whereas if you put it in the pot and you cook the egg whites a little bit and then you start scrambling, you get those egg whites in there as well.
I don't have this problem because I eat 20 egg whites a day, and it's just the egg whites. So,
Yeah, we know.
um,
By the way, you're jacked.
yeah, my chest is so big I fall down the stairs.
I am starting to see the yolks come out from your closet, though. They have reached capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and this is going back to the whole egg problem I talked about
Yeah.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I had a lot of broken eggs, but it ended up where I got a lot of egg whites, so I had to, make use out of them some way.
And as we talked about last week, you only like the egg whites, like Brian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And they say if you're gonna make an omelet, you gotta have a couple
You gotta
egg
break it
whites.
through Negroes? What?
Jamal, and Reeves, I bought for the first time.
I'm sorry, is this your presentation?
No, I'm just
Okay.
I'm having a conversation based off what you said that you prepared for dinner last night.
Okay.
I bought a pineapple in the whole pineapple form, not already cut up chunks.
Mm-hmm.
And I cut that bad boy myself.
Okay.
I am very proud of you.
It's
How
not.
How did
it's
How'd
not
you
as-
core it? How'd you core it?
Yeah, how'd you do it?
I did, so I cut the top off.
Sure.
Uh-huh. So far, so good.
Ate that part. Best part, I think. I
Okay.
think a lot of people neglect the top of the pineapple. It's pretty good.
Not you.
It hurt
Kind of
like
held
hell.
it up.
It
Kind of
hurt
like
like hell.
a cartoon cat holding
Yeah.
like a fish and just kind of like
Mhm.
dropped it down.
Hurt
I
like
bet
shit.
it did hurt.
It hurt
I
a
bet
lot.
It did.
Yeah.
Cut the bottom off.
Uh-huh.
Ate that too.
Good for you.
Then I sliced the sides, like just the like rind off the sides. So I had this like
Right.
fresh cylinder of pineapple. And then I like cut it in half.
Mm-hmm.
No. Then I cut the chunks around the core, like a big chunk on the right side,
Yeah.
a big chunk on the left side, front and back.
Okay.
And then I made a bunch of little chunkies, and I ate them in about a day. Ate the whole thing.
That's a lot of sugar.
Pineapple. Yeah, it's very sugary fruit.
It's fructose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your semen probably tasted sweet.
I don't know. I'll ask your, I'll ask your mom.
Oh! Yes. People are going nuts. Brian's shaking.
This is where I become a 90s black kid and go, don't talk about my mom. Should be talking about my mama, man. I'm ready to ruin my life.
I'm ready to ruin my life. At any moment, I'm ready to ruin my life.
Any moment. Talking about my mama.
Don't try me. I will ruin my life.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that kind of, foresight, though. You know the decision you're going to make. You immediately know the further down the line consequences for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you know the consequences.
Yeah.
You've thought about this.
I definitely have.
Okay, Reeves.
Chefs, I prepared for you fried chicken and mashed potatoes, baby.
You do the Nini fried chicken?
Nini fried chicken?
The Top Chef contestant Nini?
Oh yeah, nah. Is that available? Is that like out there that you can find it?
I think it's a class, yeah.
Oh, a class, yeah. Maybe I'll try her recipe once. It's pretty simple. New York Times buttermilk. You got to brine that for a little bit.
That's right.
Then you flour it, you salt it, you pepper it, a little bit of paprika, deep fry it. Sweet and easy, baby.
Any sides?
The mashed potatoes,
Oh, that's right. You said mashed potatoes. Yeah,
which, I put a little bit of garlic when I'm boiling it. Of course, you salt and water. And then I put some
course.
sour cream, some
Yes.
butter.
Man,
That's all you need. Salt. That's it.
you're a better chef than those guys at Olive Garden.
Hell yeah. I make good mashed potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Chefs, last night I prepared for you. Now, all these things were pre-made, but I did cook them.
Okay.
Sauerkraut and mushroom pierogies from the farmer's market, which means they're already pierogied. I have to chop up an onion, saute the onions for a while, add some butter to the pan, throw the pierogies on there, let it all cook together. That becomes a pierogi dish. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Instant mashed potatoes. Who's got the time?
I love it. They were instantly done.
Yeah. Oh, they were so good. They're actually really good. It was like
Immediately
the
done.
Reds. Can't say that anymore. The Washington football team potatoes.
Redskin potatoes?
No,
You can't say it when you're talking about
Nope.
potatoes.
They should
Washington
change their
football
name.
team.
They should change their name.
the
You just
generals.
You just can't call them savage potatoes.
And they had garlic in them and stuff like that. And then I made a can of French cut green beans that I've had in my
Can't say that
pantry
anymore. Can't say
since Freedom green beans since
Mm.
my
Oh
mom was
my
here
God.
for Thanksgiving. And my wife was like, "That's a lot of beige," though my green beans were green. So to combat her
Because
for
you're always
being
combative, right?
for being a little mouthy,
Oh God, she's not going to give you space again.
Yeah.
I need the house.
She's not going to do it again.
I chopped up some fresh green onion that I had in the fridge and sprinkled that on top of the pierogies and on top of the mashed potatoes to make it look fancy. The green onions I store in the fridge in a cup of water. My wife calls it fridge grass.
Okay. I don't think I put my scallions in water. Is that what you're supposed to do?
Are you
I
regrowing them?
googled it and it said you could put them in water to keep them
For like
fresh,
a 7
fresher.
days. Something like that.
Oh, maybe I should. I see, because I do that with like parsley and cilantro and that kind of stuff, like herbs, but I never do it. Oh yeah, maybe I should do that.
Do you guys put a moist towelette underneath your herbs sometimes?
Sometimes.
It's a lot. To do
It's
it
a
every time.
lot.
It's like every time I'm like, God, I'm just wasting a paper towel now.
Well,
Yeah.
the issue is,
I got to re-wet it too. At some
yeah,
point.
the issue is, a quick thing, I also made strawberry lemonade, and this I had lemonade and fresh strawberries, and I blended it in the blender with ice, and they were very good.
Mhm.
The issue with herbs is you buy a $4 handful of herbs at the farmer's market, and it's 1,000 herbs. It's too many.
It's 1,000.
What do?
You can't use them all.
I made a creamy dill potato salad like 2 weeks ago, and I have hundreds of thousands of dill.
Yeah.
What do I do with
dill.
it?
Too much dill.
I gave it to my neighbors; they didn't want it.
Feels like a.
Yeah, you can't hand out dill.
This feels like an Allison Roman dog whistle of some kind.
Also, prayers out to Alison Roman, CNN Plus going down.
Mm.
She was not the guest that was supposed to be on here. She has no time for us.
But I'm gonna keep asking.
Rightfully so. Stay away.
I'm gonna keep asking her to come on because
Mm.
now a window's opened up.
Yeah, there's space. Does she have an hour now?
What time were you doing CNN Plus? Well, come do the podcast now. Don't say that you're busy. We know you're not.
We know you have the time. You're not doing the show. The show doesn't exist. They shut it down. The lights aren't on. They blew up the building.
So come on down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What else?
What's
you doing?
that? They were paying you money? Ugh, Jesus, is everything about money, Allison?
Fine. $12.
Yeah, fine.
We'll pull our money together. $12.
$12.
$4 each.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Starbucks venti iced coffee. Splash of milk, no sugar. $4.
Mhm.
And that's Chef I prepared for you.
We did it.
Uh-huh.
We did it. We did it. It's like watching, it's like the Memphis Grizzlies are like watching from the bench. Ja Morant just went down. And then they're like, what do we do now? What do we do? How do we come back from this?
They have no idea what they're supposed to do.
It's
They're
like
lost.
it's like the Phoenix Suns. Okay, here it is. It's like the Phoenix Suns invited to be on their team,
Mhm.
and they prepped all week for him to be in the starting lineup and to play basketball with them.
Please tell me he shows up.
Game time, we're there. We're in our jerseys. The place is packed.
Mhm.
Where's he's not there. You email his assistant. You talk up with your friends. Your friends being other basketball players. Chris
Mhm.
Paul.
Yeah. Devin Booker.
You're talking about what are you gonna do? The agent responds that she just got this message, and that's it. And then you go out there and you play a basketball game.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go well, so you just skip to Chefs I prepared for you.
Well, it's kind of like the message you get from the assistant is just seeing this now. What boat does need to get on to get there? And you're thinking, well, he doesn't need to take a boat to get here.
We're in
We-
Phoenix.
Yeah, we're in Phoenix.
We're
And so that's
landlocked.
confusing. Yeah.
And then she says, how many points did score?
Mhm.
I'm like, well, he wasn't here. So, and of course, this is all hypothetical.
This is
Right.
all hypothetical.
It's all hypothetical.
All hypothetical. And then you just gotta play the game.
Just gotta play
The beautiful game.
The game's a battle.
Mm-hmm. It's a war of some kind.
This is Pod Chef, so it's like a restaurant war.
Mhm.
We'll be right back after this.
Pod Chef.
Yeah, so I guess we're back. Pod Chef season 6, episode 8. Not as fun as it would have been. Top Chef season 19, episode 8, Restaurant Wars. Let's get into it. It's Restaurant Wars.
This is a good episode.
It's Restaurant Wars.
I was saying this before. This is the episode I've been waiting for. I think this is the best episode of Top Chef in the past 2 seasons. Not better than anything in the All-Star season. All-Star season was all quality. Better than anything last season, and better than anything so far this season. Because
Why?
one, there was drama.
A
And
lot of drama.
there was and 2, cooking. They had to do the cooking. We saw it. It looked good. And 3, there was a lot of narratives that they wrapped up that there were payoffs for.
Yes.
There's a payoff for Jay at the beginning, and there's a payoff for Jackson.
Pod Chef.
Okay, guys, this is a fucking episode. I had some technical difficulties just then, so we stopped. We're back now. The little French chef is very upset by this.
So pissed. Well, I just let him know, okay, listen, let him know, Shilif. It's just, there's going to be no stopping that. The guest didn't show up, and then Brian's mic exploded. And now we're here on hour 7 trying to get this show recorded.
It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
my
you know
wife's
what?
not here, so it's okay. She left the house, gave me the space that I needed.
Yes, you have your space. You can, really stretch your legs and feel like you're in your own environment. You have your own time. And you know what? We got to get into Restaurant Wars.
Yeah, let's do it. So this episode starts weird because there's no previously on. It just jumps into them in cars. And they're like, well, we're not going to the Top Chef kitchen. And they're driving somewhere. And they're not told where they're going.
Mm-hmm. It's very ominous music. I have a very specific reference for the music it reminds me of. And I don't know who it would be for. But I'll give it to you, Brian, because maybe you'll know it.
Yeah.
There was promo music that WWF used to use in the late 90s for their promotions for their matches. That would be like, dun, 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 dun. It sounded very similar to that. And I thought about briefly pulling it up and making it a clip. And then I was like, I'm not doing that. That's too much
It
work.
could have been fun.
It could have been fun. But listen, another missed opportunity for this episode.
Full of missed opportunities for this episode.
Mm-hmm. But
So yeah, they don't know where they're going. Anything else happen? Do they say anything fun while they're talking to each other?
not really. But they, it's a lot of them talking about like, what is Restaurant Wars? What's going to happen? Why are we not going to the Top Chef kitchen?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Damar's like counted the episodes. He's like 6, 7. This is Restaurant Wars.
He was like, he was looking at his hands. He was like, okay, it's
gotta be Restaurant Wars.
This one, that one. Okay. Oh, okay. We're at Restaurant Wars. And he's right.
He's right.
It's Restaurant Wars. Padma and Tiffany come down the stairs, very dramatic, and announce that war is happening.
Yeah.
Welcome to Restaurant Wars.
Can we point that out? That's Tiffany and not Dawn, Brian. We know you thought it was Dawn.
They
at
look
first.
nothing alike.
Brian was like, "Man, Dawn's in this episode." I was like, "Brian, that's Tiffany Derry, Top Chef DC."
They look
So,
nothing alike.
I don't know why you're saying that it looks like Dawn.
Nope, I didn't say that. I'm here to defend myself because my microphone works now. I did not say that.
And he's denying a lot, which is, it's what
Yeah,
thieves do.
Yeah. Let me yes and that statement.
Well,
I mean, it happened.
you know what? UCB is starting back up. We can get those improv skills tightened
Yep.
and learn how to yes and things like that, because I think that's what they'll be training you on.
Yeah, you got to yes in the stuff that makes you uncomfortable and just go with it.
So they draw a bunch of knives and a bunch of them have nothing on it. And then 2 of them have first pick and second pick.
Nick and Jay.
Nick and Jay, the father and mother, which someone said earlier in the season of these two.
And Nick immediately says, he's connected to Damar and Ashley through Southern Cooking. Yeah, Nick, there might be one other connection you guys have.
They all love Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're Pokemon. Okay, you got to catch them all.
They're all Pokemon masters.
The teams Nick and Jay pick are much like the teams you'd expect from any Southern high school with separate proms.
I as in they are racially grouped together.
Yeah. Yes. One
I
team
do-
has mostly brown people, almost all exclusively brown people.
I do love that the team comprised mostly of black people also has Buddha, who last week got a pass.
Yeah, he did. And
He
he's using it.
did.
And he's using it this week. Did you see what he said to Jamar and Ashley? He's like, "What's up? Yeah, we working together today."
He's making me work. Now he knows that I'm gonna honk it, so he's gonna keep doing it. Don't make me work harder.
But he was super excited.
He was last round. He was second to last round. Luke, of course, went last, but I was surprised. This is very on the nose, but this kind of determined, like, as soon as I saw who was picked, I was like, oh yeah, that team's going to win. DeMar's team's going to win.
Yeah.
They're way stacked, especially when Jay, which it's revealed later that she's like, I don't work well with Buddha or whatever. But I was like, when she didn't pick Buddha, I was like, oh boy, this team, I don't think it's going to work out.
Mistake.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted Luke on my team. That's for damn sure.
Evelyn's a good choice.
Yeah.
Solid choice in Evelyn.
That was a
But
great choice.
If it was Jay, Evelyn, Buddha,
That's a good team.
I think they would have been okay. And then even if they had, who am I subbing out? Jackson. Yes. Well, Jackson, yeah. Maybe he would have sank the other team. But yeah, you know.
He definitely would have, because 3 black people would be like, "Hey, taste this." And he was like, "Yeah, dog, this tastes good." I was like, "Does it though? Because we didn't even spice this. We tricked you."
Yeah.
So
Plus, I think a lot of, like, I guess this is getting a little further into it. It's a lot of, like, what helps is who is good at front of house. And Buddha clearly was, like, miles ahead of Jackson.
Crushed
oh my
it.
god,
We'll get into it.
what was Jackson? He's the only person left on my team at this point, and he flubbed me.
He was like, hey, I wanted to treat everyone equally and not show preferential treatment to the judges. And Tom, to that, he said, fuck you. I'm the head judge. Show me preferential treatment. That's how this works.
Yeah. I don't know why I don't know why you tell Tom Colicchio on his own show. So on Restaurant Wars, I picked this to be the day that I tried to humble you judges.
Yeah.
And treat you like a common person. I picked Restaurant Wars to do that.
Yeah, where it's like knowing being front of house that you are kind of center of attention, that it's like that's the time to like stick your feet in of like, I treat every table equally.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this is a competition where one table decides whether you win or not. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Also, this is the first time in Restaurant Wars where not only having the chef's table, but you also then have to serve the rest of the restaurant.
Right.
So this was like the hardest Restaurant Wars ever. I mean, they were literally 5 yards away from
They
just
heard everything
heard
they were
like
saying.
every comment that they were saying.
I love that. I think that gave another element of interest to it because a lot of times some of the drama is just like all the stuff with putting together a restaurant and speed and stuff like that and being behind. But I like the element of them hearing what they were saying and that affecting or like them reacting to that.
Well,
which
yeah,
happens at
like
one point.
the other team made they called a audible because they heard that their dessert was
Hard
stupid to eat with a spoon. So they said, use your fingers.
It kept falling on the floor.
Yeah, because the crust was so hard.
People were breaking through the table when they were trying to use a fork. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but before they even got to the actual restaurant part, like listening to them generate ideas, like Jackson he just really took an L in this episode. Like almost every single idea he came up with led them off a cliff.
Yeah. Even his dessert dish was like, you don't even seem like you're attached to this dish at all.
Right.
Like it's basically like this ladyfinger tart that you can dip and bite. Like, come on, Jackson.
I think Jackson wanted to go home.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jackson, you just did a Velociraptor Wilson.
You did the Wilson volleyball
dish, like, and then you followed up with this. Like, here's another thing. You know, before this, Jackson was the highest point getter.
Yeah, he was soaring pretty high.
It doesn't seem like he's been killing it to me because I don't pay attention to the show that well. But when he shows up to Last Chance Kitchen, spoiler alert, Sarah is like, he was doing really well at first, and now he's here. So I guess he was doing good. I don't know. I don't know what happens from episode to episode. I watch an episode, I talk about it, I forget it immediately.
No,
Yeah.
he was doing good every single week except for 2, and he was never in the bottom 3. But he was either advanced or in judges table in every episode, and now he's just gone.
He's
And
the
that was my dark horse.
he's the dark horse, and you know what? He's the Luca of this Top Chef season.
Yep,
Very good statistically, but then when it really
Mhm.
counts,
nowhere to be
yeah.
seen.
not
gets
out of the
hurt.
first round. Yeah.
He's a ghost.
I do
Fucking
like
ghost.
they were given 36 hours to make their restaurants, which is over a day and a half. They're given the first day to come up with their names and what they're going to cook. And the team of Buddha, Damar, Nick, and Ashley come up with matriarch without the H. Did they explain why they dropped the H?
Because H makes you think of him.
Mm.
And it's all women, yeah.
It's all about women.
Yeah.
You know.
Ashley was going to be the head chef for that one. Buddha was going to be the front of house.
Mhm.
And then they were going to cook Southern food inspired by their mothers.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mhm.
the other team of Jackson, Luke, Jay, and
Evelyn. No name.
do no-nim, which is
Supposed
like
to
a
be no name.
barbecue. Yeah, it's like a barbecue thing. And they're going to do Southeast Asia based on just what Jackson says to do.
Yeah, what Jackson said. Jay admitted she doesn't really cook that kind of food. Luke says he's never cooked that kind of food. I feel like if 50% of the people have never cooked it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Do something else.
Do something else.
Well, here's the issue. Unlike the other team, the other team got together. They were like almost on the same page immediately.
Yeah.
Right? But this team was like, no one wanted to stand up for their dish or like wanted to like be like, no, I'm not doing that. I would rather do this. Like no one really fought to be like, say no. It seemed
Yeah.
like everyone was like, well, I'll just go with the flow, I guess. And if it messes up, then I was being a team player. But you should know it by now. That doesn't save you in Top Chef.
Yeah, especially in Restaurant Wars.
In fact, if I was on this show, I'd much rather go to judge's table and Tom's like, first of all, hey Jamal, great job on the podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on the show now. You're actually a pretty good chef, by the way.
Mhm.
Even though you cook pretty much the same thing every night for yourself, but when you like have other people around, you kind of spread it out and like, change it up a bit.
Hmm.
Also, pretty good basketball player. Not a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
But hey, why did you make this dish? Why didn't you guys go with didn't you guys want to go with the other dish? And I said, well, no, I put my foot down, Tom.
Yeah.
I said, no, I'm not doing that dish because I'm not good at it. And so I switched it out for a dish I wanted. And they were pissed off. But guess what? I executed my shit.
And he said, that's what I like to see.
And
The
Tom's
dish
like,
was horrible,
Yeah.
but that's what I like to hear.
But that's what I like to hear. It was spam and cheese sandwiches, and it was awful. But you made it.
I do like in this episode they reference that these contestants have been watching Top Chef because Buddha's like, or he's saying stuff. He's like, well, this happens and they never win.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
someone is like, well, Buddha knows Top Chef, but we can still, doesn't mean I'm
Yeah.
not going to do it, basically.
Ashley said that. Ashley was like,
Yeah.
yeah, we get it. You've studied all the Top Chefs, the Restaurant Wars, but this is our Restaurant Wars.
Yeah, every war is different, but war
Yeah.
never changes, but ours is different.
Yeah, it's always different. And this is super fan culture. This is what all these competition shows are now. It's just a bunch of super fans participating who are, encyclopedias of the previous seasons.
So they should be good at it in theory, and it turns out that Buddha was, because their team did really good. I think what happened here are my thoughts on why the other team did so bad. I think they saw the other team, and they were like, "Oh shit, we're gonna lose this."
Mhm.
Like immediately thought that, and then nobody wanted to like try to win. I think they were just like, "Fuck, we've lost." I think Tom even says at the end, "You guys did." He says something along the lines of like, "You guys tried the hardest to lose." Some kind of weird thing he says, like, "You guys did the most to lose Restaurant Wars of all time," or something like that.
He
wasn't
said,
negative.
you're the best restaurant that was in the worst side of Restaurant Wars, something like that.
Okay,
He's like, you made the great food, but what they did has just never been done before.
Yeah.
didn't seem like they made great food. They tore everything apart. They liked one
Yeah.
thing, and that was those
But
lettuce wraps.
but they're also going up against like the other restaurant made everything hit.
Yeah, it was very
Like, it's kinda
consistent.
unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And carrot cake, I mean,
That
Ooh,
looked
boy.
so
I've never seen a
good.
carrot cake like that before.
Tom says he has carrot cake for his birthday every year, and this is the best carrot cake he ever had his entire life.
So the question is, who are these other bakers who are giving him carrot cake then?
They're at home punching their hat right now.
Yeah. How did someone on Top Chef make a better carrot cake than me when I was making it and I had all the time in the world to make it?
Guarantee that Tom had a birthday between the filming of this and when it came out.
Yeah.
So the chef, his baker, who when his birthday came up this year, called Tom and was like, "Hey Tommy, it's time for your birthday cake. You ready for that carrot cake?" And Tom was like, "Oh, gosh, I'm not having a birthday this year. Just not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna stay the same age."
Mm-hmm.
And the baker was like, "Oh, that's weird, but okay, yeah, all right. Well, I'll see you next year." And then the baker sees this.
Yeah, the baker sees this and is like, "Oh, so what? It was me."
It was me.
Meanwhile, we don't find out until Last Chance Kitchen. Tom's also into some other cakes. At his house.
Yeah, at his house.
Yeah, and you got to watch it to figure out what we're talking about.
They did a good job at making me want the food this episode. Like, I really want oxtail marmalade.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is. They didn't show me how he made it.
I wanted that butter with ham in it. That looked delicious.
Tom said it was the best bread he's ever had on Top Chef.
Yes.
And we know they're always making great bread on Top Chef, so that is an honor.
Yeah. So respect it. I mean, can we talk about that green gumbo?
Oh, yeah. Let's
Yeah.
hear it.
That was... Oh, do you want to hear the clip?
We can. Yeah, maybe we should hear some of the clips. Maybe that one.
It's so rich. It's so deep. I love it.
That's delicious. It is smoky. The greens are cooked enough to where they're starting to kind of break apart.
The red rice is really, really good.
Yeah. I appreciate how beautiful she's made it, how arduously she cut those carrots.
Anytime that you tilt your bowl and you go in, you got a good dish. That's all I'm going to say.
Anytime you tilt your bowl. Now that's a good dish.
Tilt Cho Bowl.
Chobo. If this is your first Black Thanksgiving and you are making sounds while you eating, that's a good Thanksgiving.
That looked delicious. Everything is going great on that side.
Yep.
And then we turn it over to the other team, No-Nem, right?
Well, let's listen to his first impression of No-No.
Mm-hmm.
And focused.
Jackson,
Yes.
I got a question. You got this beautiful flowers, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's up with this?
It was supposed to be fun and clever for everyone.
Whose idea was it? Tell me the
mine.
truth. It was yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're here to welcome us, you don't need that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you for coming.
There you go.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. And I mean, for those who haven't watched it, this was a letter to Tom. It said to Tom. Tom opens it, and it's a picture of Tom, and there's a knife in his head. And it said, "You." And so Tom read it. He was like, "What the hell is this?"
Was this your idea, Jackson?
Yeah, and Jackson's like, I thought it was kind of funny. I don't know.
There's supposed to be one. Supposed to be one for everybody, but
Yeah, but I didn't have time to draw all of them. But you know what? It's like the knife's in your head, right? That's the joke. Pretty funny. And Tom's like, I don't need this shit.
You're always thinking about cooking, so I thought.
Yeah, it's kind of like you.
the note looked like it had been written by the Chick-fil-A cows. That's how bad the handwriting was on this note.
Yeah.
And they found the person with the best handwriting, apparently. So I don't know what happened.
Why would you do this? Is something you do in like third grade class when no one knows each other and like you're working in stations and you put your name on the little folded piece of paper to be like, oh, that's my desk. I forgot where my desk was, but that's where it is. You don't do this at an adult restaurant dinner.
Was it a joke? Because it really looks so bad, and
It was
it's
awful.
ridiculous.
It was
Yeah.
awful.
I think it was just tacky, and like Jackson had no clue of why that would be wrong and not funny.
Yeah.
When the server was writing the note, when you see her writing the note, I was like, it looks like she's doing the thing where it gets smaller, and I was like, that's probably the practice one. No, that's the one they used.
That's the real one.
Looks good enough to me, better than my handwriting.
Looks so bad.
I don't understand why you'd put that on the table.
And that's just the start. They sat down. They made a server say hi to the judges. Jackson didn't even go
my
over and
God.
talk to them.
And then Jackson's in the background doing his best fake laugh ever. He's like,
I know. I feel like the editors had some fun with throwing him under the bus.
They destroyed him this
yeah.
episode.
that's when I knew he was done. I was like, oh, they are cooking his ass
They
right now.
had like the judges being like, and I don't even know where Jackson is. Cut, his head pops into frame, and he's like, "You guys doing all right?"
Yeah.
They fucking roasted his ass.
Evelyn had to
Go ahead. Sorry.
Evelyn had to walk out with him to talk about his dessert,
Mhm.
and then talk to them about the food, and he was just like, "And here's the dessert," and like tried to walk away.
Yeah.
It's like, what is your deal right now?
I feel like he talked about maybe being like having anxiety or being anxious about it. And I wonder if he just really got like was having a moment and kind of got in his head. Cause he also like at one point, I think they were like a couple of dishes in and like he dropped something off and Gail was like, "Can you tell us who cooked the other dishes?" And I was like, he hasn't even told them that yet.
Yeah.
Like what is happening?
Yeah, he was just dropping food off and be like, "Enjoy.
Yeah.
Good luck on your journey."
And their food was, what was their food? Oh, you have it here. A pani puri, which I've had before. I went to a wedding that had that once, and it was just like a little crispy thing full of juice, and this had no juice in it. Padma hate you. You do not serve anything Indian related to Padma unless you're going to do it exactly the way it's supposed to be done.
Yeah. Or she's gonna fucking get your ass. You can't pull a fast one on Padma when it comes to Indian food. She's gonna destroy you.
She doesn't let anything slide when it comes to that at all. It's crazy. And they did family style, and they brought 2 courses out. They brought 2 things for each course, except for the dessert, which was one thing.
And then he brought out the lettuce wrap and didn't even tell them it's a lettuce wrap. Make it your own way. Everyone's like, "Do I just put everything on my plate? Like, I don't understand what this is."
Yeah. No explanation for how to eat the food, which needed an explanation.
Yeah, because those sausages look like dookie.
Yeah.
They love the sausage, though.
Yeah, they're like,
They
"This
looked good,
dookie."
but they did look like little poop rods.
Did they buy? They didn't show anyone making sausage, right?
They didn't.
No, they did make it.
But they did, yeah. Because
You
they
would
talked
think
about
so.
what she put into it. And
Yeah.
because everyone put a little something into it, I think.
That's right. They
Yeah.
love Jay's sauces.
Jay, and so this goes back to me saying like this has a nice little narrative arc. So we get the arc at the very beginning of Jay talking about like I'm doing really poorly. I haven't really shown them what I'm about, and she does good sauces, and she gets a lot of reward for it. And I was like, that's nice. There's a loop on that. I get it.
This is Jay's anime sauce arc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anime sauce arc. We all know what that means.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay, you guys gotta get cultured.
They're just for Tom to say that they still did a good job, but basically ran into a behemoth that is matriarch seems wrong, because at least in the edit they destroyed this restaurant. They didn't like anything. They hated Jackson's front of house. They didn't love the food. They had that fucking weird drawing of Tom with a knife stuck in his head.
Mm-hmm.
It all was just bad.
Made no sense.
Yeah, wasn't good. Jackson's running around just telling anyone other than his friends that he has COVID.
He tells, the fact that he told this random person, it's like, you know when you like murder someone and you just gotta tell somebody, it's like eating you alive inside. So you tell like somebody asleep.
Yeah.
And then you leave the room and their eyes open.
Yes,
like,
it happens every time. Happens every time.
Yeah.
Jackson had to tell somebody, so he told this lovely woman who just happened to win a dinner at the Top Chef Restaurant Wars dinner. She's like, "This is pretty good." He's like, "Yeah, you liking that? I can't taste anything."
Yeah.
I had COVID. I haven't told my friends yet.
He's like, it's okay. I guess it's better now. I don't know. I haven't tested it in a long time, but yeah. Did you guys have COVID before? It's crazy. No one knows it. You think I should tell them? You guys think I'm not going to do it? I'm not. He's like, it's funny that I haven't done it yet.
So shit hits. So it's time to do it. No, we didn't mention the best thing about this episode is that Buddha is a wizard. We forgot this. Sorry. When Buddha gets in the car to drive to Whole Foods, he does some cool magic in the car and he turns the volume down with just making a twirling finger motion.
Yeah, he makes a call and he goes, "Hang on, Damar, you're a little loud." And then just with his finger, he waves, kind of Obi-Wan doing
Jedi.
to someone. Yeah,
Another commercial for the BMW X, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, it worked on me. I want to buy that car.
I got 10 of them right now just because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to get somebody in the driver's seat, passenger seat, have someone call me.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, sorry, Mr. President, you're a little loud. Hold on.
Yeah.
Can't wait till that technology works on people in general.
Do the oh god, right?
Someone just starts talking to you and you just think mute them down, and they go, "Don't mute me! Don't mute me!"
Yeah.
That's
I wish I had
next
a
Black Mirror episode.
volume control for you. Yeah, that was
Remember
cool.
that great insult when you were a kid to someone like, "Do you come with a remote?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the future we might.
Mm.
Can't wait.
Babies might be born with remotes.
They're definitely not born with how-to instruction manuals, that's for sure.
Am I right?
Whew, gotta figure that shit out on your own.
All right. So Jackson finally ends his story arc, his long COVID story arc, with a confession after kind of being grilled at a judge's table. Even at judge's table, he has the audacity to say, "I thought something was too salty." Shut the fuck up, Jackson.
He said all he can taste is salt.
And he can't even taste that. He's just lying. All he's tasting is probably his own mouth. And he's like, "Oh, it's salty in here." Yeah, that's your mouth. It's not the salt. So here's his big reveal. And if I was in the back, I would have given him more shit than they gave him.
Okay. All right, guys. So there is something I want to share with you all, which I've kind of been hiding from you guys. What? I got COVID about 3.5 weeks before we started filming, and my taste and smell went away, and it hasn't really come back. So I've kind of been doing this all blind. What? Yeah. I didn't want to tell y'all because I feel like it's like a weakness, you know what I mean?
I mean, all day yesterday, we're all like tasting.
It's shocking to hear. I seasoned the fish a little bit less. Jackson decided it was a little bit too salty, so
I'm listening.
Why did no one call him out on this shit? He's smiling while he delivers this. I would have been like, "Cut your smiling, white boy."
The only person mad is Luke. Who is silently losing his shit.
Yeah.
If this had been 10 years ago,
Dale's
Top
on
Chef, if fucking Dale's on it, which he's not on this podcast, there'd been a fucking fight.
Yeah. Chairs would have been thrown.
Yeah.
People would have had words, and people would probably call him out on his lie of the nonsense of, which maybe initially this was the reason of like, I thought it would be a weakness, which doesn't even make sense. It's clearly that you told people now because they figured out at judge's table that you weren't seasoning things correctly, and you were giving people bad advice. So he kind of got caught in it. He felt like he needed to tell everyone.
Guilt took over.
Yeah.
See, if Dale was on this show right now, he would have been like, "Dude, you're the most selfish person I've ever met." He would have really given him an earful.
Yeah.
And that's why Dale is amazing.
Yes.
You know, just a great chef, great guest. I don't know what he's like on a podcast, but that's why we like him on Top Chef and other stuff. This show needs a Dale.
Yeah. Every show needs a Dale. Even a podcast needs a Dale.
Yeah.
I think that Luke should have gone home.
So
just because of how awesome that would have been. Because Luke was so pissed off. Luke was like, "Well, who cares? I'm going home now anyway." Like, so angry. And Jackson's like, "No, I'm pretty sure it's me." And if it had been Luke,
dude, if I was Luke and I had gone home, I would have been like, "Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
This guy can't fucking taste anything."
You're telling me you're keeping the guy here who I mean, we all saw him in front of the house. Are you kidding me right now? You're keeping him, but you're sending me home because I could make someone else's dish properly that I've never cooked before? Fine, send me home. Whatever, Tom. You've had something against me because I got Viking in my blood.
He hates Vikings because they pillaged Tom's village, his fish
They usually
village.
have long hair.
Yes, that's true. It's the hair thing. We see at Chef's table, like Tom is like, Luke's got to go home, but Gail and Padma are pushing
Shut
for
him down.
Jackson.
Again.
They shut him down.
Again.
I would love to see they really are taking in different directions, which I like, but it would be interesting to see like what how they got to that final decision. Like if they just overruled him or if they convinced him.
It happened
in
last
some
time,
way.
I think.
It did. Yeah.
I honestly think that he's taking a back seat. I think it's leaning more towards Padma being like the show.
His powers don't work anymore.
I do also want to note that there was some roasting going on at the table. Gail roasted the shit out of the curry, saying that it tasted like curry had spent some time in Copenhagen. And then Padma roasted something by saying that it was made with unsalted butter. And they were just being and they were just like, "Oh shit. Oh no."
Yeah.
It was wild.
Tom was like, I think this curry is a little bit more like a Seth curry versus a Steph curry.
It's not as wet as it should be, like my jumper.
Wet. All right, so
wait,
the
so
only person
who won? Ashley won,
Ashley
and that was
did.
weird. I didn't think she was going to win.
Well, they actually did good, and the executive chef always usually wins on the winning team.
But she was the only person who got a negative note for that whole team.
Well, she also made the stew, so it's like, come on.
That's true. And I think they really put it forward that she was kind of
gumbo.
like the executive chef.
Yeah.
And that she was kind of like in charge of everything. The only thing that I would have thought, I mean, everyone in that team did very well. I was thinking maybe they would have gone with Buddha just because like Buddha did so well with
That's
front
what I
of
was
house.
thinking.
But
He gave a master class on front of house.
he was great. I love the clip of like them, and maybe the other team did this too, and they just cut it out. But like Damar, like before they actually got into the restaurant, like them talking through like things that they would say, like how Buddha would explain the dishes and what the concept, like talking through all those things, that helps, right? Then he knows what to talk about.
That.
Jackson really needed that, yeah.
But I bet you Jackson told him, "No, I got this. I do this all the time in my restaurant. People love the fact that I'm in front of house in my restaurant because I've only been doing it for a year.
Yeah."
So I've mastered it apparently. I'm upset because this is the last person on my team, and Jackson's going home, and he really just dropped the ball completely on this episode.
I know.
And so let's just listen to him go home because I'm so fed up with him.
Jackson, please pack your knives and go.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Jackson, you clearly took on a lot, but things didn't work out. We'll see you in Last Chance Kitchen. You'll have a shot to get back in.
Sure.
Thank you. That'll be all.
Oh, good. I thought it was me. It's hard.
I've learned that, like everyone, sometimes I make the wrong decision, and sometimes it bites you in the ass. I'm out, guys.
Man, big blur.
Been real. I was basically on top every round, and then was on the bottom on the 8th and got eliminated. All right, thanks, guys. Cheers. It's a tough pill to swallow, but I'm just gonna lean in, cook the best food that I can going to Last Chance Kitchen because I came here to win, and I think I actually have a shot at this.
Sarah kicks his ass in Last Chance Kitchen.
Destroys him.
Absolutely destroys him.
In a very hard competition.
Super hard. They do their own little takeout restaurant wars in 45 minutes, which means they had 15 minutes apiece to work on 3 different courses.
A 3-course takeout meal in 45 minutes. I was like, the other day when I was cooking, we had chili the other night. We have the same chili every night. Not every night, but like very often. When I was like prepping and doing the suing for that, it took me like 30 minutes to chop an onion, chop 2 peppers, and some garlic. It took me 30 minutes, and I wasn't like going slow or fast, just a normal pace. So how fast you have to be going to do that?
Well, can we talk about this?
I think
it shouldn't take you 30 minutes to do an onion, garlic, and some peppers.
I mean, and I gotta tell you, you gotta stop using a spoon to chop up all that stuff. Like you gotta, like I told you, if you just get like a nice chef's knife, you can get through that in like 10 minutes tops.
I haven't graduated to knives yet. I'm still on spoon. I haven't gotten the knife approval yet.
But it's just everything's like smashed. Like it's not even cut.
Yeah. That's all I can do, and it takes so long. And the spoons get bent every time. And guests come over and they think that I'm doing ESP on the spoons because they're bent.
Well, I came over the one time and said, I didn't know you liked The Matrix. And you're like, no, I was cooking.
No, I just got to smash.
Mm-hmm.
Avocado.
So Sarah won. Sarah won. I'm not even going to talk about the rest of it. Like she just won. Go watch Last Chance Kitchen if you want to see it.
It is anxiety inducing. This Last Chance
really
Kitchen makes you feel like shit because like Jackson is having a full on breakdown panic attack, and Sarah's like also having trouble, but like staying calm. Where Jackson is losing his shit.
Meanwhile, Tom's on a date in the episode. All right, so let's
Tom
talk
and
about
Gail are at Tom's place.
Yeah, just hanging out, waiting for them to show up.
Using the same phone, and Tom is doing a call. He's got his phone horizontal to do a FaceTime.
Yeah. And he's texting while he's doing the FaceTime on that phone, so you can tell he's not really paying attention. Yeah.
So let's talk about the fantasy standings because this is
it's brutal.
Oh, okay. So let's start with last place. That's me now. And it's me forever because I only got one person left in the show and they're in Last Chance Kitchen. So if they don't win, or here's my thing, right? She's won 3 in a row. On the fourth one, she should be back in the show.
How many people are left right now?
8.
Oh, she has a while. They're not going to do more than 2 people back.
No, sorry, 7 people left. 3.
Yeah, because someone just
7
left.
people are left. There was 8 in this episode because that's why they do Restaurant Wars with 4 and 4.
She has 3 episodes to go, I think, at least, until she can come back.
That's insane. She's won so much.
I know. She's done very well.
So that's all I got left.
Well,
Second place.
there is another way that you can win, Jamal, and that is if one of Reeves or I's contestants do, the like fail-safe rule that we have in this fantasy is that if they show up to a competition in only their underwear, instantly they lose 50 points. And that could happen.
It could.
And no one thought it could happen, but if it happens, you're right back in there.
That's true. I would be super back in it because if you lose 50 points, both of you are basically at 0. So.
It's a tough rule, but it's a rule.
Yeah, it's a good rule to have. Second place, Reeves. Are you ready for this? You're in second place now.
Oh, second place.
57.5 points, which means our new and maybe for the first time ever leaderboard winner right now is Brian Jackson with 59.5 points. Ooh. I can't believe I'm saying it.
Ooh,
strong team. That Evelyn Nick connection, man.
Even after he named his team such an inappropriate name, like, does Nick Wallace look like a bitch?
It's a great name for a team. Speaking of Pulp Fiction, like we did earlier.
He's winning right now, and, I can't stand it.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we think? All right.
Do we want to talk who we think's going to win?
Let's do top 3, and then let's see who we think's going to win. So who's left?
I got my top 3 right now. I can tell it.
My top 3.
Let's let Reeves go.
Mine is Damar, Buddha, and Evelyn.
Damar, Buddha, Evelyn.
I think she's going home.
Really?
You think Evelyn's going home?
I think she's going to make a slip.
So you think there's no women in the final? Or Ashley? Do you think Ashley's going all the way?
No. Oh, no. Ashley's lucky still be here.
And Jay. I keep forgetting.
So I think Jay's going home. I think Evelyn's going to make a ghastly mistake sometime in the next coming weeks. Ashley, they're going to get rid of Luke, and then Ashley's going to show herself again. And I think it's going to be, the last week is going to be Damar, Buddha, and Nick. It's just the bros.
Just the bros.
My final 3 is Buddha, Damar,
Luke.
And you said Evelyn too, right? That's exactly what you said. Just to be different from Reeves. Buddha, Damar. I think Ashley pulls it out.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but all right.
She said this is the first time that she's not like nerfed her food, and she really cooked her own flavors, and they loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why she was nerfing her food to begin with then.
And then, okay, who's your winner at this point?
I'm a little conflicted on it right now.
If Damar stays solid, it's Damar. But if he messes up, I think Buddha's going to take it.
So I'm kind of on the same page. I think Damar is the most consistent, and I think Damar can make the final. But I feel like if Buddha makes the final, I think Buddha has enough already pre-prepared things that he'll come in and be able to just like wow them. Like he'll like shoot for the moon.
Yeah.
And could potentially take it.
And he's studied Top Chef.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think my pick is Buddha. I think he cooks what the Top Chef judges want in a winner of Top Chef.
Right.
Like upscale, fancy, looks pretty, tastes good. Damar cooks great food. I don't think it's like upscaled enough for them. I think they like it. I think he could win. There's a very good chance he could win. I feel like Buddha could fuck up in the final.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. Buddha made chicken and made them love chicken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
the
that's
impossible
extremely
task.
hard to do in this show. So it's like, that dude's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Did they say what I forget what the preview was for next week?
So do I. So let's just not talk about it. Reeves, where are they now?
Action Jackson. He owns 2 Italian restaurants in California, and there's a pool table in the middle, and the pool cues are noodles, and the actual balls are meatballs.
Very Italian.
All right. Until next time, we're going to pack our knives and go.
Bye.